Hey guys, it's Joskar again, and I'm here to bring you a guide for Innocence EX, one of two new extreme trials in Final Fantasy XIV, Shadowbringers. The first mechanic is Shadow Reaver. It's a room-wide AoE. It's important to pay attention to this cast bar throughout the fight. The next mechanic is Winged Reprobation. Keep in mind it will do different things throughout the fight. The first Winged Reprobation will put tethers/AoE markers on two non-tank players. After you drop the AoE marker, swords will come out of the ground and blast a path into where you dropped your marker, and then out in the cardinal directions from the puddle you dropped. To dodge this, take the tethers to the opposite side of the room and slightly angle them out. This gives you longer to dodge out and more space for the other party members to stand. Dodge back in an inner cardinal direction to avoid the swords hitting you. Next, Innocence will cast Righteous Bolt, which is a tank buster. This will require a tank swap because it puts a debuff onto the main tank. The second Winged Reprobation works similar to the first, except Innocence will combine it with Rightful Reprobation, which is a set of blue AoE lines that you also have to dodge. The tricky part about these blue AoE lines is that they'll hit one quarter of the room first, pause for a couple seconds, then hit a second time and mirror onto the other side of the room. They hit twice because Innocence is actually throwing spears away from him during the first hit of the AoE. And then the second hit of the AoE has them returning to him and being thrown out again in the opposite direction. Pro tip, if you ever lose where the AoE lines are, look to the outside of the arena for the floating spears. They will indicate where the AoE will hit again. To dodge the second Winged Reprobation, do the same movement as the first Winged Reprobation, except pay attention to where the blue AoE lines are. If they're running north and south, you'll want to dodge out of the AoE puddle by moving towards the outside of the arena. If they're running east-west, you'll want to dodge out of the AoE puddle by moving towards the inside of the arena. The next mechanic is another Winged Reprobation. This time it causes 3 curved AoE lines to appear. They'll rotate towards their bend. Move with them to not get clipped by them. 2 large AoE markers will then be placed onto the DPS. Spread these and try not to clip your party. Righteous Bolt will cause another tank swap. Another Winged Reprobation will be cast. This time it will point orange AoE lines at party members that you will have to dodge out of. While this is happening, Innocence will also cast Rightful Reprobation. This will put another set of double dodge blue AoE lines into the arena as well. To avoid these mechanics, dodge out of the blue and orange lines for the first AoE hit. Continue to dodge out of the orange AoE lines while keeping track of where the spears are because they will quickly return. After these 2 mechanics resolve, he'll put out an AoE line called Light Pillar. Everyone should stand in the line behind the marker to split this damage. Next up, Innocence will cast Shadow Reaver, which is the room-wide AoE. Next up is another Winged Reprobation. This time it will put 1 spinning AoE line out on the field as well as the tethers. Determine which way the spinning AoE is going to spin. If the AoE will spin towards your side, you'll want to run across it to place your tether. If it's going to be spinning away from you, wait for it to spin out of the corner and follow it. Like before, you'll dodge out of your AoE pattern in an inner cardinal direction. Make sure to avoid the spinny laser too. Next is the add phase. Adds will spawn on the south, east, and west side. The east and west adds will need to be tanked. Start by DPSing the south add down first. Once the south add is down, switch to the second add and DPS it down. Switch to the last add and DPS it down as well. After the adds have been DPS down, the boss will cast a room-wide AoE to transition phases. The boss will now cast Starbirth. This cast places 3 orbs in the room. It will leave 1 safe spot. These orbs can be broken by abilities cast by Innocence. For this set of orbs, they'll explode because of the room-wide AoE Shadow Reaver. The AoE circles are wide. To dodge this, move into the safe corner before the AoE circles go off. Next up is another Winged Reprobation. This time it will create the spinning fan blades again. After you finish dodging the fan blades, Innocence will cast another Rightful Reprobation. Remember, this AoE hits twice, so make sure to keep track of where the blue AoE lines are. Innocence then teleports to the side of the arena and blasts through the center. To avoid this, get to the sides, while making sure to dodge the second hit of Rightful Reprobation. Innocence will then cast another Tank Buster, causing another tank swap. Next up is Starbirth. This Starbirth pattern places 2 orbs diagonal from each other. 2 DPS will get large orange circles known as drops of light. Split these so that they do not overlap with the group, do not overlap with each other, and they do not hit an orb. A second set of DPS markers will be placed on the other DPS shortly after. If you hit the orbs with your AoEs, you will get hit by massive amounts of AoE damage and apply a damage down debuff. Pillar of Light will then be placed on a group member again. Point this away from every orb. They'll explode if the line AoE hits them. Make sure to stack to share the damage between the group. After Pillar of Light, Innocence will teleport to one side of the arena to cast Beatific Vision, which causes him to charge down the middle. The 2 orbs on the field will explode as he rushes past them. To be safe, you'll want to get to the edge of the arena in a safe zone where no orbs are. Innocence will cast Rightful Reprobation again. He'll directly follow this with God Ray. Remember, Rightful Reprobation will hit one side of the room first, then mirror onto the other side of the room directly after. God Ray expands as it casts, leaving skinny safe places within it. It'll be cast 3 times. Each time it casts, it will rotate. Shadow Reaver, the room-wide AoE, will be cast next, followed by another Righteous Bolt. Next up, Innocence will combine Starbirth, Winged Reprobation, Light Pillar, and Shadow Reaver. Starbirth will create 4 orbs in the room. The tank will want to drag Innocence to the north. Winged Reprobation will then cause 3 sets of AoE lines to dodge. After you dodge these 3 sets of lines, he'll put Light Pillar, the group stack line AoE, on one party member. Point this line AoE towards one of the southern orbs so that the damage from the line AoE destroys it. The party will want to be pretty close to Innocence to prevent themselves from taking damage from the exploding orb. Also, make sure not to clip 2 orbs at the same time. Once the safe spot is created, the party will move into the safe spot. Shadow Reaver will then be cast. The damage from it will cause the remaining 3 stars to explode. This will be followed up with Righteous Bolt, which will cause another tank swap. Next up is another Winged Reprobation. This Winged Reprobation causes another round of sword tethers. It will also place the orange AoE lines out as well. The party members with the tethers should sprint to the opposite side of the arena to drop the tethers without getting clipped by the orange lines. The rest of the group should dodge the orange lines. Winged Reprobation will be cast again, and this time it causes the orange spinning AoE. Next up, Starbirth will be cast and create 3 orbs with a single safe space. Innocence will teleport to one side of the arena to cast Beatific Vision, which will again cause him to rush down the middle and explode the orbs. Next up is Rightful Reprobation plus Drops of Light. Rightful Reprobation will hit 1/4 of the room while 2 DPS are marked with Drops of Light puddles. The DPS should split these drops of light while avoiding the blue AoE lines. Next up is another Winged Reprobation. This time, it will place the sword tethers on 2 party members without any other mechanics to dodge. This is followed up by Starbirth plus Drops of Light plus Light Pillar. This Starbirth creates 2 orbs. DPS will be marked with Drops of Light that they'll need to spread it to the sides without clipping the orbs. Just like before, Light Pillar should be pointed away from the orbs to prevent additional AoE damage. Beatific Vision will cause the boss to rush down the center again. Remember to get into your safe spots. Rightful Reprobation plus God Ray will be cast again. Remember that the blue lines hit twice. Shadow Reaver, the room-wide AoE, will be cast. This will be followed up with Righteous Bolt, which will cause another tank swap. Starbirth will create 4 orbs and bring out the orange AoE lines to dodge again. A long cast Beatific Vision will serve as the hard enrage for this fight. If you can DPS the boss down before this cast, you will win the fight. Guys, thank you so much for watching this guide. I'll be making more guides throughout the Shadowbringers expansion. See you next time!